Lauren K. Newman, and I am a musician, and I live in Portland, Oregon, and I love playing the drum set the most of all the instruments I play.
So were you one of those kids that like drummed on things all the time, like your leg and the table?
Oh yeah, yes, definitely. Like you know, dinner table, fists, forks, whatever. Da 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 da. My first drum set was a little margarine container with chopsticks. A couple of those together, just like 2, 4, just fucking playing to the fucking Beach Boys. 409. You know, giddy up, 409, like at 5, just like da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
How old were you when you were doing that?
Like 5 years old. I think that's when I really started playing actual beats, was 5. And I used to also throw temper tantrums in rhythm on the floor, like no, 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 no. It sounds silly to say, but at that age of 5, I actually had that feeling like I knew that my destiny was music. Like, my dad was really supportive, showed us, me and my brother, lots of videotapes of The Who and shit. I mean, imagine being 5 and seeing like Keith Moon destroy a drum set, and then seeing Jimi Hendrix set his guitar on fire at Monterey. This is the shit my father was showing me while giving us headphones and saying, listen to Sgt. Pepper's and The Wall. So he was hella exposing us to all, and country music, every kind of genre. But seeing Keith Moon, like I had that feeling where as a little girl at 5, I was like, me and him are the same. I was like, that's me when I'm big. Like you know what I mean? Like I felt like that's what I was gonna do with my life. Just fucking rock.
So you weren't one of those kids that needed like the rock and roll camp for girls.
Oh,
you
fuck
were
no.
born with that.
Totally, and ambitious. Yes, confident, ambitious as fuck. I spent all my free time practicing. When I got into middle school, I started taking snare drum in the drum line, and I was first chair for 3 fucking years. No one could. I mean, there's one chick, Deidre. I don't remember her last name, but she fucking challenged me once and like knocked me out of first position. But I was serious. We were playing Army Corps, like Radamacues and all that shit. And my thing was, I wanted to be the best. I was like, no one is gonna be better than me. I'm gonna be the best. I don't know, I just threw like so much energy into wanting to be the fucking best ever.
Where do you think that competitive edge came from?
I wish I knew. Probably from having a brother, maybe, like an older brother. I mean, it's not like he and I were competitive, but that is a really awesome question, because it's something that's kind of been with me through my life. It's dying down largely, like it's almost non-existent now, but yeah, I've been competitive. I think it's because I've always wanted to like make it and like be able to be a professional musician and not have to work a day job. Like, why can't I be John Bonham, you know?
Like being a female had anything to do with that edge, the competitive edge?
I'm
like
sure.
Your drive? Like,
Dude, I'm fucking sure. You know, it's not anything I've contemplated, and I'm not saying, yes, that's it. But yeah, you know, it's like this. It's like, it's a man's world, okay? I'm not a man hater. I love people. We're all humans. But it's like, rock and roll, let's just say rock and roll, it's a man's domain, largely, right? I mean, it's like, do we always talk about in pop culture? We still talk about the Stones, the Beatles, we talk about Kings of Leon, whatever. It's no one's ever fucking talking about Sheila E. or Wendy and whatever, you know what I mean? It's like Laurie Anderson maybe, but so I think, yeah, it was kind of like a way of me being like, just because I have tits doesn't mean I can't fucking bring the brawn. And that also compelled me to work out. Like, I'm a fucking athletic nut. Like, I pump iron and stuff when I'm healthy because I want to be as strong as a man so I can bring it like a man can bring it. So I guess part of me is kind of like, yeah, I'm trying to say, like, fuck this, you know? Just because I'm a chick doesn't mean I can't shred, you know?
Yeah.
Hi there.
16-ounce coffee with extra cream, please.
Okay. Can I get a 16-ounce coffee with extra cream?
Yep.
Did you guys want something?
Jody wants some.
You want something? No, I think that's it, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Palo Verde started in like November of 06, and it started out as me and Terica as a drum duo, all about percussion, all within the scope of 15 minutes of full sonic percussive blast. That was Stick It In. That's what it started as. It's called Stick It In because it was, you know, like a drum reference, like stick this part in, da-da-da-da. And then what happened was we had our first gig booked, and we had this huge plan. We had gone to Olympia, and we brought a notebook, and we wrote it all out. We're like, oh, our first show's gonna be this, that, and the other. We're getting all excited. We come back to Portland. We're like, all right, the show's coming. We were both hungover, sick, whatever. Last minute, Terica's like, fuck it. I'm gonna grab a guitar. I'm gonna play a guitar, make noise. You're gonna play the drum set. This is gonna be our first Stick It In show. So Stick It In played its first show then as a drum guitar duo, and then we stuck with it from there on out, and then eventually down the line a ways changed our name to Palo Verde. After a nuclear reactor that we saw in Arizona while we were on tour. We changed the name of the bands because it was hard to tell people we were called Stick It In. We just started feeling dirty about it. In that nature, that context, it was all improv, all what I like to call spontaneous composition. We just made up compositions on the spot, no preconceived notions, no talking about like, we're gonna go boo-da-da here and then da-da-da-da-do there. None of that shit. We would just straight up look at each other right before the show and be like, what are you feeling? I'm feeling depressed. I feel kind of excited. Let's channel that and make it work. Or sometimes we'd be like, I read this book, it made me feel this way, cool. Or I saw this movie, that chick was fucking retarded, let's do this. And we would just call on ideas like film and books, you know, literature, things, something we saw, a feeling we had, and we would just let that be our emotion. And so we're both having different feelings about the same thing, and then we would channel that into our music. And every fucking show, spontaneous composition, no bullshit. Not even improv, because that word has like a bad connotation. People think like jazz bow, or something. Spontaneous composition, because it's just like shards of molten metal in your anus. Just